Welcome to the surf industry. I am so stoked to be here with my old buddy Jordan Schwartz from Ohana Surf Shop in
Oh,
Stuart Beach, Florida. Jordan, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Man, I'm fantastic. I'm sitting here, I'm talking to you. It can't get much better than that.
I mean, my dreams have come true. This is it. Got to reach the pinnacle.
I can vision you and I laying on a beach in Hawaii. Oh wait, that happened.
Oh, that did happen. Oh, the good times. That was so much fun.
Yeah,
You
I
guys,
love.
you guys really just took such good care of us. You
Well,
know,
there's nothing better than having a brand fly you and your lovely wife to Hawaii with another rep and putting us in a one bathroom house. I'm sure Tara loved
that
that.
was such a blessing. My wife still talks about that bathroom to this day. Three guys and a bunch of team guys running in and out using that bathroom, and my wife. Yeah, so
Perfect storm.
she still talks about that. But what a trip, though. That was awesome.
That was
You know,
fantastic.
hey, listen, it's about location in Hawaii.
Yeah,
So where you
and
put
we
us
weren't
was,
log cabins. We had
and
a
you
nice
couldn't have been
place.
any better. Absolutely. How can it get any better than that?
Yeah. So
Always fun.
I want to talk to you a little bit about what's going on at Ohana, what you're seeing out there. But what I want to start with, dude, your Instagram, I feel like you sell 5 boards a day. You have so many boards in
It,
there. True surf shop with surfboards, not just surfboards, Florida brands, East Coast brands. I mean, you got surfboards on lock in Stewart. Tell me who you carrying, who's killing it, and maybe who would you like to see in the store in the future?
right. So what we're carrying right now is we did expand a little bit of our California brand. So we have Sharp Eyes in there, which are doing really well. Let me turn that down. And we also carry Pizels now. And what we just started carrying, what we just got in yesterday was Algorithm surfboards. They teamed up with Ben Gravy, East Coast guy, and Algorithm is Brian. Oh my God, he did super forever. I've drawn a blank on his last name, but we just got 12 of his boards in. I have a really good friend, Austin, who surfs for him that just absolutely rips, and he's the friendliest guy in the world. So we're giving those guys a chance, and the boards look great. And then as far as one other brand, we carry Thrashcraft by Brad Flora. He shapes them. I think he shapes them out in Indo, but he's a Maryland guy. He's an East Coaster, making great boards. And then as far as our local shapers go, we carry every one of them. We carry Cronin Surfboards out of New Smyrna, who we've carried for 18 years. Definitely our best selling board in the shop, period. Craig absolutely crushes it. And he crushes it everywhere he goes. He's got boards at Catalyst, Interlight, like some of the bigger shops, and he absolutely crushes it. New Smyrna guy. Ricky Carroll, the legend, longboards, fun shapes. He's doing all the local motions for Florida. He's doing the Christiansens that are being shaped in Florida. There's a couple other brands, so they really trust him. Ricky's a legend, just does great work. So his boards, and then you got Justin Quintal shaping boards with him too, and having his signature board. So have a guy who crushes that pipe, but then long board world champ, Florida guy. We love having his support. Tom Nielsen, great legend. Started with Quiet Flight and on his, then's been doing it for 40 years now. Whatever it is. Who else? Stoke Surfboards right here in Stewart. And then we carry Ghetto House because Paul moved here now.
Yeah.
Paul moved to Stewart from California. He used to do all the glassing for Lost out, Ghetto House out there. And we carry another brand called Kainalu, which is local shaper out of Jensen Beach, Tennessee, great shaper. And probably one of our better selling boards I almost forgot to mention is Tony from Clean Ocean Surf. He's out of Jacksonville, just beautiful boards. Like you want it to look like a classic longboard, he's going to make you a beautiful classic longboard. So that's pretty much. Oh, and Torque surfboards. We do carry Torque. Love those guys. A lot of them are kind of that price point board that'll get you into surfing. But John, the owner, Florida guy, great dude. Cares about his customers, cares about everything, and he don't even put prices online. He won't sell a board online. He'll send you right to your retailer. So we do carry Torque, and they've been great for us. They've been a great teammate. I mean, putting boards in, on consignment when we couldn't afford them, and and letting us grow that way, letting us have a warehouse full of their boards. So they've been a blessing, because you definitely need that. And then we carry a whole line of soft boards, So
It's funny, like
that's
as
pretty much.
you're sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good.
As you're naming those boards, I'm sitting over like, want one, want one, want one. I think I saw
Oh,
Trenchcraft first on your Instagram, then Caton got him. And I was looking at
right.
the twin fins. I'm like, dude, these are sick.
That
Corbin surfboards that you mentioned, I believe.
that Cronin.
Cronin, I'm sorry, Cronin.
Yeah.
Every one of his boards looks sick.
Oh,
Tony's
so
boards at Clean Ocean looks sick. I mean, every shaper you named, I want one. And to touch on torque real quick, because I know a lot of people are like, oh, pop outs, blah, 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 blah. I have to give torque some credit because beginners do need a board. It's that introduction to surfing. It's a rental
absolutely.
board. They're not trying to replace their normal surfboard, but the fact I've learned more about them recently, and like you said, that they don't sell online. They're really are creating this brand to introduce people not only into surfing, but also introduce them into the surf shops. It's not a money grab. It's not a wave storm. These guys actually really care about
Quality
surfing.
product. It's a quality product. John's a great surfer, and he was one of the first reps on the first reps for Surf Tech. So he had the whole East Coast. He made a lot of money, and he loved what Surf Tech was doing, and the company treated him right. But he wanted to build a better board, a more performancey board. Something that's just a better. Now Surf Tech has moved on; they're making great boards. But so he went to the same factories, Cobra factories, started doing his own thing, making more performancey style boards, and the boards work. I mean, the intro boards, people bring them back; they don't have a ding on them. When they're ready to move on and go on and surfing. But we have two team riders, Angry Johnny and Larry Haynes. I mean, Larry was on tour. I mean, he surfed all over the world. And Johnny's one of the best surfers out there. They both ride Torques. They can ride for anybody in here, and they love Torques. So
Yeah.
they're riding their go-kart, their carbon construction. One of Larry's got a twin fin from those guys, and that's what they're riding, and that's what they love. And I forgot to mention Drew from Inspired Surfboards. We carry his boards too. We've carried his all 18 years too.
So many
But
boards.
they're back to Thrashcraft, man. That board, that twin fin is just insane, dude. I mean, everybody's been loving it. That's what we're selling the most of. And if you watch Brad surf that thing, you'd have no idea it's a twin fin.
Yeah. I want one so bad.
Oh, you should, dude. Those boards, they just feel good, dude. He's doing most of them like poly wrapped in epoxy, and I mean, he's just a funny dude. He's like old school, like me and you, like as far as he's younger. But if you watch his like surf videos, it's all punk rock, breaking boards, lighting kids on fire. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll, kind of lost days or kind of the fun days of surfing,
Yeah.
So he's been refreshing. Like little spark in the shop for sure.
Gotcha.
We've been selling a ton of his boards, and he prices them right, dude. We're able to retail them at $675.
Yeah.
I mean, that's coming from a different country over to Maryland than him driving them down, and we're still able to. He's still giving everybody a good price, so shops can make money too. So he's a good dude and good boards.
Yeah, they look clean, and he's definitely penetrated both coasts because I've seen him over here. You're getting him over there. I'm seeing him in the New Jersey
I'm glad
area.
to see you over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's right.
The screen fell down a little bit. I'm just seeing you from.
Hold on. What do you see now? Can you see me now?
A little bit more. Oh, there we go. I got some neck in there, and I got some good Jordan neck.
Let's go.
Weird.
A little looser at 50 years old. You used to be a lot tighter.
I can't believe
now I got to worry about holding my neck to my belly.
I can't believe that you reached your 50 because I mean, I really met you so long ago. I mean, 18 years ago, you opened Ohana Surf Shop. And I remember I was working at Ocean and Earth back then.
Yeah,
and man, I've enjoyed talking to you ever since. We've been friends ever since. But in that 18 years, you've seen a lot of brands come and go. You've made a lot of changes at the shop. I know you do more than surfboards. You do a lot of soft goods too. What are some of the new soft good brands or just new brands in general that are getting you excited right now?
New brands. The only one that like for me, there's two local guys. There's Dustin Howard with Yank Local, which he's a Florida guy. And it's basically funny shirts like your state's great, don't move here. He does funny things about he'll have like the old school like triangle formation of water skiers you always see in like those classic pictures, and says wish you weren't here. So he does some funny stuff, he does some cool other stuff besides that, but basically it's like you're not local, like whatever. And then my buddy Eric from East of One, everything cool happens east of US 1 here because our beach is on the east, so everything east of you basically like the railroad tracks or not is like the cool place to be. As far as brands in the shop, what we carry Billabong swim for the ladies and some Billabong toppers and stuff, but that's about it with Billabong. And the ladies swim just crushes it with Billabong. It's so good. And they're super nice. The Bouchards who take care of us are so nice. And then we carry Salty Crew, just because we love CJ. We love that whole feel. CJ's always been a big fan of our shop. She's come here and helped us out a ton. So we always carry some Salty Crew in here. And I'm trying to think, we carry some Vizsla to some of their button ups and some of their wetsuit tops and some of their wetsuits, but mostly we're kind of doing our own thing. We're just building our own brand, and we have a few different manufacturers. We have one straight from Hawaii. Well, he's in Florida, but he's been doing the God, dude, it's the Hawaiian Lifeguards brand of shorts. I forget what it is, but he's been doing it for 25 years, and so he's building some really nice. We carry some Florence too, some Jordan Schwartz and Lycra. But so we have like now we have like 3 or 4 good manufacturers that are making clothes for us: board shorts, t-shirts, wovens, flannels, you name it, and that's pretty much what we focus on. I mean, that's 80% of our store probably, and then another 20% kind of filling in with those other brands where we need them. But it's been working for us, when we started, just kind of why we're there, why we're at where we're at now. When we started, it's 18 years ago, and there was a big surf shop in town. They're now gone, but they had all the big brands, right? And that's what all the surf shops did. In 2006, you had all your big brands. And so we wanted to do something totally different. So we had, started off like, this isn't your dad's surf shop, and at first I thought I was going to get Quicksilver because me and Todd Klein are really good friends, and he was really involved in Quicksilver at the time. And then when he said, "Oh, dude, I'll get you to the rep," I'm on the rep said no. I was like, "Oh well, we got to start thinking about this." So what we did was we carried Split, we carried Cult, Ezekiel, some of the best brands from 2004 to 2008. They're all, and then there's probably a couple other. Oh, SRH, we were crushing it with SRH because there was a local band in here that sponsored by SRH, and they had a huge following. SRH was our biggest brand. And then that we started up with all those brands. That year the big shop started buying all those brands, just kind of block it. Now it really left us nothing special, at that point, because we thought we were special having these smaller brands. Then when they bought them all and had the big brands, then it really started making a scramble. We're like, oh shit, what do we do now? We can't just keep bringing in new brands every 2 months. The first person that pops up, we can't do it. So then we started really honing in on our own brand. It takes a while. It's hard. Now it's a little bit easier, but back then trying to find a board short manufacturer that, would be on time, get you stuff in 2006, it was tough, but that helped us grow to where we are today. It taught us a lot, not to depend on these other companies and kind of do the legwork ourselves, and paid off. You make good margins. The people love it. We make good quality stuff, and especially if you're local, whatever town you're in, but if you're in Stuart, Florida, and you're wearing Ohana stuff, it feels good, to like, you're kind of proud you got your own area. You're not just wearing, and like I tell everybody, like, I gotta be quiet because the shop's busy. But we'll have people come from Indiana who's never seen the ocean before, but they'll come in Hurley board shorts, a Hurley top, and they look like John Florence. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dude, are you a pro surfer? And they're coming to rent a soft top, to go out for the day. And it's great. That's good. But it does make me feel like, all right, we did the right path. You have something that's your own, something that feels local, and, whatever. So that's been working for us. I know it doesn't work for everybody. There's some markets that need those brands, and yeah, but that's what works for us.
Yeah. Well, I think though, we've talked about it quite a few times, how you've been investing more in the Ohana brand, and some shops have been forced to go that way. At least when you make Ohana products where it's being sold, You're not competing with anybody for Ohana products. And to your point, when somebody comes down from Jersey on a vacation, they get a little takeaway that they can remember forever because a lot of it says Stuart, Florida, right there on it, or Treasure Coast, or whatever. Wait, you guys on the Treasure Coast? You're on the Treasure Coast.
Yep. Absolutely.
Okay. And I heard a guest appearance earlier. I think hopefully that was Nugget in the background. They put on a Nugget Dough t-shirt, and
almost every shirt has the dog, has Nugget on it, or something. They're the most popular dogs in Martin County.
And hold on a second. Speaking of Nugget, Ohana pups, are you taking it in a whole nother direction? Dog collars?
Absolutely. We do leash. That was another thing that was really tough to find the right vendor. We wanted them made in America. We wanted certain things out of it. So we started Ohana Pups, which is cool. We designed all the collars and leashes to have like a Florida feel. We'll have one with all oranges on it. We have, the surf feel. We have a few different things, and we have a killer fishing one that Daisy's wearing right now. But we did collars and leashes and bowls, all made in America, all recycled from recycled bike tires. They all have beer openers on them, the collars and the leash. And the little collapsible dog bowl's been a hit. And then we started doing our dog toys. So we found a manufacturer out of New York, and we're doing we do an imitation of Miss Palmer's bar wax, but it's an Ohana logo on it. We do a White Claw kind of takeoff that we've been using for a while, that logo, and that's on the dog toys, and that's it. And we get so many people tagging us and like, oh, thank you, oh, my dog's dressed up. And that's probably our number one item on the internet. I mean, that's probably what we're shipping out the most is dog collars, leashes, stuff like that. Any show that we go to, like, we really never bring merchandise out, but if there's certain things we're going to, we'll bring like the dog collar. We'll sell out the rack that we bring. They're just cool, but everybody who surf, not everybody, but most people who surf have a dog or love animals, and it's an easy gift for people. You don't have to worry about their size. You get them a leash and they're stoked for their pet. Everybody loves their pets. We always have dogs in here. We'll have sometimes 5 dogs in here during the day.
Well, I see that guest appearances on Instagram photos when you're selling, I don't know what do you sell more boards or do you have more dogs come in? I don't know.
Right.
But Ohana Pups is awesome. And your pup is part of your Ohana. So it all makes sense. Be careful though, man. You might have to take over that gas station next door and turn it into a store.
Yeah, we got some plans, but one thing I say a lot, that Tara's grandma said, enough is a feast. Like, we're doing well, we're happy, we're healthy, the kids are happy and healthy, because everybody keeps asking us like, hey, let's open here, let's do this, let's do that, and but for right now, smooth sailing. I get time to surf, get time, chill with the kids, and so no desire to take over the gas station. Yeah,
well, speaking of plans, April 6th, Single Fin Showdown is coming up. Talk to me about it.
Yeah, let's go. This is our 15th year. So it originally started out as a single fin contest where we rode boards from the 60s and 70s. It was short boards and long boards. We provided them all. Oh, there's a lovely Mama Ohana. You come in and say hi.
Hi.
Say hi to Mike.
Hi, Tara.
We're just needing the computer, so I just was.
Give me a few more minutes.
No, just seriously, is everything good?
Everything is great. Where'd she go?
We're busy. Yeah,
I'm right here. We're busy.
Oh, well, don't worry. We covered the single bathroom on our trip to Hawaii earlier. I know you love that.
That was nice. I can handle it though. If it's a trip to Hawaii,
sure is tough.
That works for me.
Yeah,
let me know when we're going back.
I definitely will.
Okay.
Bye.
Awesome.
Yeah, so Single Fin Showdown originally started 15 years ago. We would provide all the single fins, short boards, long boards, and that's not easy. Finding all those 60s and 70s single fins, finding fins to go in those boards is almost as impossible as finding the boards. So for 10 years, we did it that way. And what we do is we'd put sticks in the stand. People would pull out a stick. They have a 6-person heat. The number one would get to pick the board. What board you wanted to ride first. Number 2. So if you got number 6, you're riding one of the beaters most likely. And it was a lot of fun. It was originally started as a fundraiser for United Way of Martin County, so we get back to this community. And in the first 2 years, we raised 40 grand for those guys, which was rad. We were so stoked. From a charity stupid contest, you know what I'm saying? Not no pros, no nothing. And then one of our employees, Brooke Thabit, got injured. She dove into shallow water, shattered her C6 and C7 at 17 years old. She was paralyzed. So then the contest just went all for Brooke. So it's we always say this one's for Brooke, but like this one is. And over that time between, so we'll go back to the contest, and I'll tell you why we do it really. But so then on year number 10 of the contest, and the three of us, me, Tara, and my buddy Jeremy and Justin, or four of us who kind of started this contest, right? We've been together all 10 years doing this. On year 10, we were just so beat. It was a crazy contest. We have a great time, but it was all shore break towards the end of the day. We had 5 boards break that day, like classic boards that you can't replace.
Right.
And after that, we said, okay, that's it, dude. From here on out, it's just a longboard contest. Everybody can bring their own boards, because we'd have 2 truckloads of boards, going to bring out. We'd have to build a rack for all the boards to stand in, so they're not laying in the sand and all this stuff for the contestants. So after we did that and made everybody bring their own boards, it's been so easy. You know what I'm saying? Like half the stuff we don't have to bring. We don't have to worry about boards, this and that, whatever. So it's a longboard contest. This year we got Justin Quintal coming and surfing it, so we're super stoked on that. It's unbelievable. We've had CJ Hobgood before. Corey and his son both won it. They've surfed it before. Shay's been here. So we've been blessed with the people that have come out to see a silly contest, that we just started out of the blue. So we've been stoked about that. But the reason we do it is Brooke Thabit. So currently it's been 11 years since her injury. She graduated from Savannah College of Art and Design. She's working as an interior designer full-time in Boca. She's still paralyzed. But she's jumped out of a plane with Red Bull, jumped out of a helicopter with Red Bull, been surfing with Corey Lopez. I mean, you name it. Dude, this girl's a fucking badass, and we're so stoked to be helping her. This year she needs a new, her car has broken down. To move all the electronics into a crappy car is $80,000. So that's what we're going for. That's not, we probably won't raise it from this, but we're hoping to be able to help her out a little bit, And we got great sponsors, man. Sunburn Cannabis bought new Cronin surfboards for every division winner. Wow. So they spent $3,500 with a local shaper with us. So we put all the cool, our new logos on there for the single fin showdown. So yeah, it's the contest has been a ton of fun. We have a no bitching rule. If you bitch ever, you can never come back. And we've had to kick 3 or 4 people out of it, just because that's not what it's about. It's about having fun. So we do it with raffles. Is how we raise money, and that's another blessing. We've had Jack Johnson sign guitars for us, G Love, Donovan Frank, Ryder. They all love Brooke. They all know she was a surfer, and the minute you get their story in front of them, they're just like, what can we do? This year we got a guitar signed by the Elevators, just to name a few other things. Taylor Steele gave us his new tequila and his beautiful record wrapping. It's like $500 gift, that he gave us. So we've been really blessed by the people in the surf community. And so that's it, but it's a lot of fun coming up April 6th. If you're in Florida, come and see us. It's going to be a fun time. Always is.
Yeah. Gosh, I wish I was out there. It sounds like a good time. And speaking of Brooke and how much you've helped her as an employee and a friend and part of your family, I actually remember because I was in town when that happened. And what I thought was really cool is you were like, hey, our employee Brooke just dove in the water. You told us a little story. I happened to be on the road with Jamie O'Brien, and you were like, would Jamie go visit her? And it was so early on, Jamie went and visited her in the hospital, and only he was allowed to go in and see her because it was such an early traumatic thing. But not only was that very sweet of Jamie to go visit her, I remember he surfed pipe contests with Team Brook stickers on his board. And it just really goes to show not only the support that somebody like Jamie has for somebody he just met, but your support of your family, your friends, your employees to rally the community together to support everybody, so it's real commendable.
We never stopped with her. We loved her. We love her so much, and she's such a sweet person. And then that was really cool of Jamie because remember it was we had to go to Fort Pierce to even make this happen, because you guys were just going to stop by the shop, do a quick autograph sign. And it's the craziest thing is that Jamie was Brooke's favorite surfer. I mean, literally all over her wall were posters, 17-year-old girl, Jamie O'Brien. And for that to happen, I think was just an amazing kickstart. And kind of how the universe works sometimes is like, you need that spark, or maybe she would have went, you know, a totally different direction, because that was a fresh injury. She was 2 or 3 days out of being injured when you guys came. Then Jamie let us come and watch pipe at his house, which is cool. But then another cool story. So Jamie hasn't forgotten about Brooke. So, you know, he did the stickers, he signed boards and gave to her so we could raffle and raise money. But so my buddy just went out to Hawaii and he's like, hey, I got to get the Ohana hat. You know, I'm like, oh yeah, cool. He's like, I'm like, they're gonna know you're not local or whatever. He's like, no, because I'm staying right by Jamie's house, so I want to walk by his house every morning and see if he recognized, you know, the hat, right? So we got 10 minutes left, maybe. So I'm like, all right, that's a pretty silly idea, right? So anyways, he comes back fired up, dude. He's like, you'll never believe it, dude. Like the second or third day he was walking by, and Jamie was like, oh, Ohana from Florida. It's like, yeah, dude. Brought up everything, invited him in, talked about Brooke, you know, so he still remembers Brooke. And I thought that was pretty cool, you know, because we're talking 11 years ago, and you know, I've talked to him on and off here and there, you know, once a year about different things that he's doing. And for him to do that was pretty rad. And my buddy was starstruck, so stoked. But man, you provided a lot of lessons for this shot, dude. You really have, man. I'm stoked, dude. Yeah, man. I love seeing you on Instagram. I love seeing the family dad. You know,
family dad Mike is a whole new level of just watching sporting games and being there to support. But speaking of support,
those kids,
what's that?
Yep. I said those kids will realize one day what a cool dad they have. You know, it takes a minute. You're like, oh wait, this is awesome.
Well, I mean, you've already probably lived through it. Cool dad, not cool dad, cool dad again. Like there's that phase, right. And I think my kids are going to enter that.
There's a weird middle school phase.
Yeah.
You know.
But speaking of support, you know, we talked about the single fin showdown, and I'm aware we only got 10 minutes left, so I'm going to get this one in.
Oh, I just
you've done the Ohana.
Saw that on there.
You do all kinds of fundraisers for the community. You do movie nights. You do, gosh, you're even talking about, we won't go into this because I don't have enough time, but even talking about the sand that's not being replenished at your local beaches. Like you really care about your community. Now let's talk about the surf community caring about the surf shops. What would you like to see from brands that you think would really not only help you, but help, you know, your brothers and sisters in surf retail? What could brands do to support?
What the brands need to do if they want to make a comeback, if they want to make you remember growing up, dude, all you had was brands, dude. You wore the OP, you wore the, you know, Quicksilver with pride, dude. You were a surfer, dude. It was badass. So what the brands stopped doing was stop supporting the surfers. So we used to go to, you know, take Todd Klein, for instance, when we were in 7th grade all the way through high school. We'd run to his house to get off the bus because there'd be boxes of Quicksilver taller than the door, dude. You'd have to move them to get to the door, you know. So we'd go ravish all this stuff, you know. He'd take all the goods, you know, the stuff he wanted. It was like, and every surfer I knew back then that was really doing well was getting these things, you know, and it really pumped you up. You saw the best kid in your area, the coolest kid wearing Quicksilver all day long, dude. Every kid in school wore Quicksilver. Every kid at my school rode a Keckley, you know. He had the flip tip nose. That's who Todd rode for. Every kid, you know, period. The whole community, the whole school was covered in Quicksilver. You didn't see hardly nothing else. So they need to go back to that kind of days. You know, now you beg them. You know, you've been doing business with them for 18 years, and you got to beg a company back. Hey, I got this Grom dude who's really charging. Okay, they send him a stump bat, you know, and a leash, and you're like, dude, all right, you took care of them. You know, take care of the kids. You know, if you want this to grow, you know, it can't be. So it turns into like more corporate stuff. Now, you know, you got the liberated brands, or you got the stuff that's trading stock, and you got to take care of your, you know, stockholders. You got to get the most out of everything, but they need to realize you can't squeeze it all the way, you know, because you're just going to lose it. So, you know, give back a little bit more, take a little bit less, focus on the shops, you know, because, you know, we're the ones grinding out there, you know what I'm saying? So focus on taking care of the shop, some of their shop riders, and just go back to coming out to events. When was the last time, you know, well, California might be different, but like here, we just had the Florida Cup, which is every county has their own team, and Jacksonville just won the Florida Cup, which is like a big deal. They do a series of like 10 contests, and they do this. CJ Hobgood surfs. I mean, big guys surf it. I mean, and not one surf sponsor on the beach. Sunbum was out there. The sunblock. There was a couple local companies out there, a couple local shops out there. With tents. There wasn't Billabong, Quicksilver, this, that, whatever else. They didn't donate to the prizes to this. Beer companies were doing more than they were. You know what I'm saying? So. Right. That's the only thing I could think of really that may help. And then also, as the surfboard prices do come down, because everything kind of goes through a little flow, it's like as the prices of materials come down, because they're coming down, we're getting, the shipping's easier now. Lower the prices again. Don't keep them. I know you had to move them there, and every shaper had to. Resin was expensive, epoxy, everything, blanks were getting expensive. And they had to move the price up. Now stuff's getting cheaper. Don't just stick there. Come back down to where kids can afford the board they want, not just have to rely on secondhand boards all the time. So that's what I would say, is to have the shapers really look at what they're doing and don't try to squeeze it either. You know what I'm saying? Because the boards are starting to get, we have Pizels in here that have paint on them that are $949, which to me, I'm 51. So I'm like, dude, people buy them. Don't get me wrong, but it surprises me sometimes, because I couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, well, I would have to do something else. But people do it. People love the board. I mean,
hey,
obviously.
If you want to do John things, you need to ride with John rides.
You know this.
So I think the lesson there is, don't squeeze and support the culture, support the shops, support the events. Because, Phoenix Am just happened the other day in Phoenix. This was a skate event, but all of the big brands were there. Not only were the big brands there, the owners were there. I mean, you had the owner.
Skaters different.
You had the owner of Soul. What's that?
You got to remember, the skaters are a different breed, though. The skaters, that's in your blood, dude. You know it. I mean, you skated. I grew up skating. And most of those owners, it's a different style of ownership. Like those guys are still rad, at 60 years old, they're still fucking carving up the bowl. And, that's just a different breed. Skaters are different. Surfers are more floaty and airy and forget about stuff. But so going back on the support, me and Tara, we were broke for 10 years, doing the shop. The only reason we survived is all the stuff we did in the community. That's why I know it'll work on a bigger scale too, because all the events we did, all the people we helped, all the community events, like everything. That's the only reason we survived. We'd have one group of support from like Operation 300 coming in. Hey, thank you for doing all you did. And they'd come in and buy stuff. We'd do stuff for United Way. That group would come in and buy stuff eventually. So it all kind of feeds each other, but it just feels good to give back. And, it's not why you do it, but you hope, your business can survive to keep doing it. So that's one thing I would tell everybody is like, if you have a shop in your area that's doing the stuff that's you always see out, you always see helping kids, you might see them giving a board away to a needy kid. Go support those guys. That's who needs you. The bigger stores, and I know most of the stores all started from surfers, but like the Jacks and I love, nothing wrong with Jacks. I know it's still surf, but those stores are so big, they're going to have their crew. Their people are going to come in and out all day long. So go to the smaller one, say what's up, get a T-shirt. Get your wax from there, and then when they do events, show up, dude. It's the surf community. If they're movie night, show up. Come on, you always complain there's no culture, and then we'll do stuff, and then, we don't see certain people. I'm like, dude, come on out. All your friends are out here watching a movie. I ordered pizzas. I got Sunset Sliders here, let's go, but, so that's it, So I guess it goes two ways. The surfers got to support too, so.
Got to support what you love. Well, man, I think those are all fantastic tips. I see I only have 1:45 left in my free Zoom. That's because revolutions are broke and I can't afford to pay for premium. But so great to see you on the screen. Hope to see you in person soon. Tara, Jenna, Curran, sending them nothing but love. I mean, you have such a family-ran shop. Thank you.
We're so lucky.
Yeah.
So lucky.
True. We're all blessed to be where we are, healthy with our families, and to work in this beautiful surf industry.
What else?
So thank you so much for your time, and we'll see you guys next time on Welcome to the Surf Industry.
So stoked. Can't wait for a real hug.
A real?
Yeah, here we go.
I went in for the kiss.
Right. I know you did, dude. I felt this. All right, brother. You have a good one.
Later.